It's a hot topic, definitely. Lots of different perspectives floating around.
Right. And today we want to really dive into that. Look at the core tensions, maybe some solutions highlighted in what you shared. It covers, work styles, expectations, collaboration, all that stuff.
Exactly. The goal is to kind of pull out the key insights, understand maybe why there's friction sometimes.
Yeah, and hopefully get to some actionable understanding, not just theory.
Agreed. So where should we start?
Well, let's maybe kick off with the view from Gen Z and Millennials. The material really points to their desire for, mental health support, actual work-life balance.
And meaningful careers, right? Not just a paycheck.
Exactly. That old, 9 to 5, clock in, clock out model, it doesn't seem to fit as well. They're looking for flexibility.
Transparency.
Yeah, transparency and a real purpose in their work.
And it's interesting how that clashes sometimes with more traditional setups. You mentioned the data in there.
Oh, right. The SHRM data for 2025, it said something like over 40% of younger workers find it tough collaborating with older generations.
Yeah, and a big piece of that seems to be feeling held back, that whole wait your turn thing.
Which is tough when they're often trained for, quick movement and really open communication.
It's like training for a sprint and then being told it's a slow-paced marathon with unclear rules.
Yeah,
That's bound to cause some frustration.
definitely. Okay, so that's one side. What about the counterpoint? The view from, say, boomers and Gen X.
Well, the sources suggest their focus is often more on earning respect through structure, showing loyalty.
The idea of paying your dues.
Exactly that.
Right, yeah.
And there's maybe a sense that, work isn't necessarily the place you go for deep emotional support. That line about work isn't supposed to feel like therapy.
And what about their experience collaborating down the generations?
That's where it gets really interesting. Remember the 40% number for younger workers having issues.
Yeah.
For boomers, the sources say it's only around 26% reporting problems working with younger colleagues.
Wow, that's quite a difference.
It is. And some even find the energy of younger workers quite positive, energizing.
So the perception of the friction isn't necessarily symmetrical.
Doesn't seem to be based on this material. It really makes you think about communication styles and maybe unspoken expectations.
Okay, so we have these different values, different expectations.
Yeah.
But the materials seem to stress this isn't like a war.
No, exactly. It framed it more as a values clash, not a generational war.
Right. Like Gen Z maybe wants to change the system, while boomers are more about working within the existing one.
That seems to be a key theme, yeah. Adapting versus evolving, perhaps.
So what do the sources suggest companies should do about this? Just pick a side.
Definitely not. The strong message was, don't pick sides, build bridges.
Build bridges.
Things like cross-generational mentoring.
Yeah.
Both ways, Younger folks mentoring up on tech or new approaches, older folks sharing experience.
Okay, that makes sense. What else?
Open communication training was mentioned, helping people understand different communication styles. And, of course, hybrid work cultures.
Ah, flexibility again.
Yeah, finding ways to value both the experience that comes with time and the innovation that often comes with fresh perspectives. It's about integrating, not segregating.
Which ties into that quote near the end, something about fighting the system.
Oh, yeah, you're not fighting each other. You're fighting broken systems that need all your voices to evolve.
That's powerful. It reframes the whole thing.
It really does. It suggests the energy spent on intergenerational friction could be redirected towards fixing the underlying issues in how we work. It calls for unity, really.
So boiling it down, the core tension is really about these differing values and expectations for work, careers, progression.
Absolutely.
Right.
Work-life balance, purpose versus perhaps structure, loyalty, a more traditional path. Neither is inherently wrong, just different priorities often.
Right. Different lenses on the same world of work.
Precisely.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, maybe a final thought for you, the listener. Consider how these generational insights, these different values and communication styles, how might they apply outside of work?
Interesting point.
Think about your community, maybe even family dynamics. What other broken systems out there could benefit from bringing diverse perspectives together, collaborating, instead of clashing?
Yeah, where else could we build bridges instead of walls? Definitely something to chew on.